Hello, Fusation. My name is Alex Fuse, the host of Fusion News. Today is January 8th, 2018. I'm the host of the show. And before I introduce the next guest on my show, are you a subscriber of Fusion News? And if not, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button. And once we hit 600 subscribers, giveaway. So hit the subscribe button right now. And without further ado, I have another great guest on the phone right now, a New York Times bestselling author, Jeff Pearlman. Jeff, how are we doing tonight?
You know what? I'm inspired that you are in high school and you're doing this. So I am doing great because I think it's awesome that you're doing this. I really do.
Thank you. I greatly do appreciate that. And I'm a little jealous of you. I mean, it is 30 degrees right now, and it was negative 10 degrees this past weekend in California. So it's even better over in California right now.
Yeah, I think I'd win this contest.
You definitely do.
Yeah.
So you're a New York Times bestselling author. How does that feel? Does it feel any different?
It's kind of funny. You go through, like when I was your age, I hate to sound old man, but when I was your age, if you had told me that I would go on and, write for Sports Illustrated and write books for a living, I would be, I'd be euphoric. I'd be thrilled. And I have loved my career. I've loved it. But it's interesting, like as you go about life and you do things, it's almost like you're always looking for the next thing to do. Like you would think people would take more satisfaction from achieving things and from doing things. But a lot of times you're just thinking, well, what am I going to do next? What am I going to do next? So it's not like I go around and think, oh, I've had books on the bestseller list. I'm always thinking, what's next? What's coming up? What can I do? But I will say being a sports journalist has been an awesome, awesome way to spend adulthood. So it's a great career. It's really fun.
So you've written 7 books. Do you have a favorite out of the 7?
Yeah, I do. I would say I wrote a biography of Walter Payton called Sweetness. Walter Payton was the legendary Chicago Bear running back. And I really, I found his life interesting. I found him interesting. Writing the book was really there are a lot of fascinating details. I always enjoyed writing about individuals more than teams, following their path from birth to, sometimes to death, but and everything in between, the different stages and who they were and who they became. So Peyton was a really fascinating guy. So he was my favorite.
Mm-hmm. So let's switch gears a little bit and talk some NFL news. The playoffs started this past weekend, and ESPN came out with an article last week about the Patriots that there's this ongoing conflict behind the scenes between their star quarterback, their head coach, and the owner, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and Robert Kraft. So what did you, when you heard about that, what were you thinking when you read the article or if you heard about it?
I mean, if you cover this stuff long enough, if you cover sports or politics or anything that really involves a lot of publicity and sort of big names, you inevitably get clashes of ego. It's inevitable. It really is. Also, Tom Brady's 40 years old. So he's not a 22-year-old quarterback anymore just saying, yes, coach, yes, coach. He has opinions. Belichick is known, you can make the argument he's the greatest coach in NFL history, or right there with Vince Lombardi. He's not going to be the same guy he was when he was a young coach. And the owner's the owner. So, you get a lot of power consolidated in 3 guys. Inevitably, you're going to have sort of ego battles. But I do think at the end of the day, the Patriots are very well coached. They have the best quarterback who's ever played the game. They have an owner who pays the bills and brings in the guys the coach wants. So even having those little sort of hiccups, I still think the Patriots are easily the team to beat, as the playoffs roll on.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, I feel like any NFL team has this conflict, but just because it's the Patriots and that they're the winners in the past 10 years, 15 years, it seems like they're in the spotlight, just like the Yankees.
Sure. I was actually just thinking, way before you were born, late 1970s, New York Yankees were, every year there were a million different controversies surrounding the Yankees. And Reggie Jackson and Thurman Munson. The manager was Billy Martin. He was always getting drunk and yelling at people. The owner was George Steinbrenner, who was a crazy tyrant. So there are always stories, and they were always in the tabloids, but they always won. And at the end of the day, one of the most overrated things in sports, I can tell you this as a fact, is when we reporters ask athletes about the distractions and how do you play through the distractions. So the truth of the matter is, once you're on the field and you're a wide receiver lining up, you're Brandon Cooks, and you're lining up against a defensive back who wants to shut you down, you're not thinking about Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick. You're not thinking about your car with your flat tire. You're not thinking about having to go to a movie tomorrow night or some bill on your house. Your ass handed to you. You think of catching a pass.
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, generally, what it comes down to is who has the most talent, who is the best coached, and that's the Patriots.
I definitely agree with that as well. And we'll switch gears and talk some MLB offseason, or I should say lack of MLB offseason. But for all the fans up here in upstate New York, a lot of my following are Yankee, Mets, and Red Sox fans just because the show is in upstate New York. And were you surprised when the Yankees got Giancarlo Stanton from the Miami Marlins? What was your reaction when you saw the news that Giancarlo Stanton is now in the Bronx playing for the Yankees?
I mean, my first thought was really about the Marlins. And if you're a Marlins fan, you just have to be like, what exactly am I rooting for here? Like, why am I existing as a fan for this transfer? Because it's really interesting if you think about it. Stanton is 27 or 28. I think he's 20. Is he 27 years old or 28 years old?
I think he's 28.
This is exactly like what a youth movement is supposed to do. Is you develop players, you build them up, and then you have this team that you can play. You can hopefully win a World Series with. So the entire justification the Marlins have given for years and years of their cheap ways is, well, look, we're going to develop all these young players, and then we're going to be great. Well, here it is. You've developed the best player in franchise history, arguably the best player in baseball, certainly a top 5 player in baseball. He's approaching his prime. He's probably not even in his prime yet, but he's right around there. And you trade him. And not only do you trade him, you get crap in return. You get Castro and a couple of low-level minor leaguers. I mean, so from the Yankees standpoint, it's great. They spend money. They're building a really good team. They've done everything right. But from a Marlins standpoint, I cannot even think of a reason you would continue to be a fan of that team. It just doesn't. There's nothing logical about it.
Mm-hmm. And not just that, they've also traded a lot of other big pieces after the Stanton trade. And now, if you're on the Marlins and you are not a star but a good ball player, you're like, let me get out of this place.
Well, sometimes you are, and sometimes you're also thinking, I'm getting paid, and then now I'm going to have a chance to play. It really depends on where you are. But another thing, people don't always like to hear this, but one of the other sort of overrated things in sports, for most of these guys, it's a very long season. And it gets really about winning and losing down the stretch when you hit the playoffs. But for a lot of these guys, it's just having an opportunity to play, it's making your money, it's being in the big leagues. So if you're some 22-year-old outfielder and Stanton being gone means you get a shot now, you're not disappointed at all. You're pretty psyched.
Right.
And as long as the paychecks are coming in, generally you're relatively satisfied. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're an older player and you're coming toward the end of your career and you've never been on a winning team and you thought, oh, look, we're on the threshold, this pisses you off.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree. And before we wrap up this interview on Fusion News, Jeff, what has been your favorite moment in your successful career as a sports journalist?
Oh, man. It's been, top of my head, when I was covering baseball at Sports Illustrated, I was probably like you. I was a kid who I sat in front of my TV watching baseball games with a mitt on. I'd watch football games, and I would have a football in my hands, throwing the ball to myself, pretending to be the guys I was seeing on TV. So all of a sudden, you're covering the World Series, and you're 20. I was probably 26 years old, and you're on the field, and you're one of the reporters, and you have a Sports Illustrated credential around your neck, and you're in the locker room after the game, and you're interviewing Dusty Baker or Barry Bonds or Jeff Kent or just these guys. It's just a dream come true. I was a kid, and I told my mom I wanted to write for Sports Illustrated. So, there's something about being young and having the credential around your neck and having access. Mm-hmm. I'm sincere when I say this. I hope you have a million opportunities to experience that too, because it's a rush beyond belief.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. And where can the fans follow you? All over social medias. Where can they read your blogs and all over the internet so the Fuse Nation can follow Jeff Pearlman?
Yeah, just add Jeff Pearlman on Twitter and then jeffpearlman.com.
Awesome.
My website.
Thank you again, Jeff, for coming on my show today. I greatly appreciate it.
My pleasure, man. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. All right, Fuse Nation, you just heard it from Jeff Pearlman we talked the Patriots, their conflict between the star quarterback, the owner, and the head coach, Brady, Belichick, and Kraft. Do you feel like there is some conflict behind the scenes? Comment below what you think about the Patriots. We talked the Yankees, we talked the Marlins, we talked Jeff's career, and much more. I'll be back here live at 6:15 tonight with Big Jim Murray from 980.5 Sports Hub in Boston. We'll be talking the Patriots, we'll be talking the Red Sox, some Yankees as well. Big day of Fusion News shows, and we'll be back here tomorrow with 3 more shows. What a great week of shows. Thanks for watching. Be a subscriber, and I'll be seeing you all very soon. Thanks for watching.